The fuse is lit. The fuse is lit. The fuse that we have been discussing. Will they, won't they? Can Liverpool make this signature work, this statement signing actually happen? Is in the works. It is potentially going to happen now. They have done what they are supposed to do. They have put the bid in. Now, Newcastle United have done exactly what they are supposed to do. There is a dance that is actually happening here. Liverpool have put the bid in. Newcastle United have firmly rejected the bid. But the negotiations are well and truly underway. There is a world where Liverpool could actually make the signing of Alexander Isak. And Craig Hope has reported that Newcastle United want to somehow bring in 150 million. Now, the valuation from Liverpool is a lot less than 150 million at the moment. But the fact that Craig Hope, a very reputable journalist, a journalist who covers the North East, covers Newcastle United and covers them well, the fact that he has said that there is a £150 million fee in Newcastle United's head, in the chairman's head, in the PIF's head, there is a fee that could prize Alexander Isak away from them. That means that there is a world where this could happen. That means that there is a valuation. They're not saying he's not for sale. They're saying he's not for sale for that price. That's a very, very different thing. Some things are not for sale. Sometimes some things are not for sale. Mohamed Salah is not for sale. Cole Palmer is not for sale. Alexander Isak is not for sale for the price that you have put the bid in for. And that is very different. And that is why I firmly believe that this is going to happen. Because from Liverpool's perspective, this is going completely and utterly to plan. There is a dance that takes place. There is a rhythm that is played out. Like the music is playing and Liverpool are cutting some shapes. This is how it works. You don't just get the player. There is that natural thing that has to happen where one side bids, the other side rejects it. Newcastle United need to reject the bid. They need to reject the bid for the statement that it makes by rejecting the bid, but they also need to reject the bid until they have somebody that is capable of being a BTEC version of Alexander Isak. And I say that with regard to whoever they sign. I don't say it with any sneer. I just say whoever they sign will not be as good as Alexander Isak, but they need to get someone through the door. And now this entire saga will come down to two things. Simply, two things will decide whether this move happens or whether it doesn't. The two things are Alexander Isak's own desire to make sure that he gets the move that he wants, and Newcastle United's resolve to make sure that he doesn't get the move that he wants. If Alexander Isak agitates and does everything within his power to make sure that this move happens, it will happen. If Newcastle United decide to do everything within their power to make sure that it doesn't happen, maybe it won't happen. But from a Liverpool perspective, I feel like they can almost sit back. They've made the noise. The music's playing. They've lit the fuse. They can now sit back, have a cigar, allow the noise to rumble on, allow the conversations to start, allow everybody to have an opinion, allow Newcastle United to come up with a valuation, allow Alexander Isak to do everything within his power to make sure that he gets out of his contract. And Liverpool have played a blinder yet again. They sit back and they allow it to all happen. And it is very important to acknowledge here that Liverpool have conducted themselves incredibly admirably throughout the whole thing. Liverpool have been chivalrous and they have conducted themselves with aplomb and with respect. They weren't responsible for that initial leak that happened. They have done everything by the book. They have played a blinder, and they have played a blinder within the rules. I mean, it's very impressive what they've done. You know, they have made their intentions perfectly clear. They've put the bid in so everyone knows that they're serious. And I think what we now need to do is take a moment to acknowledge the significance of what this bid means. What it means for the first team, what it means for football. It is absolutely huge. This is magnificent. In terms of a Premier League signing going to from Premier League club to Premier League club, in terms of where this ranks, this is the biggest that we have seen for decades. This is it, isn't it? Liverpool are actually on the precipice of making one of those statement signings that will be studied and discussed for years and decades to come. That's what this signing is. This is up there with Robin van Persie going from Arsenal to Manchester United to win the league for Manchester United and practically win the league for Manchester United before Christmas due to the brilliance of Robin van Persie. This is up there with Fernando Torres being prized out of the clutches of Liverpool Football Club to come to Chelsea off the back of scoring two incredible goals for Liverpool against Chelsea. This is one of those statement signings, and it's a statement not only for what it means on the pitch, but what it means off it. It tells us who Liverpool want to be. It tells us what their ambition is. Dynasty. Legacy. That's the motivation here, because there is no doubt in my mind that Liverpool already have a team capable of winning the Premier League. With or without Alexander Isak, this Liverpool team, with the additions of Kirkes, Frimpong, Florian Wirtz, Ekitike, they are already capable of winning the league. But this isn't about that. This is about creating something momentous. This is about creating something truly historic. And to give you my opinion on how this plays out, Alexander Isak will be a Liverpool player. Alexander Isak has played his final game for Newcastle United. Alexander Isak will never again be seen in the black and white stripes. The Gallagate will never again sing the name of Alexander Isak. It's over. The fat lady may not yet have sung. But trust me, it's over. It's over. It's like going into the final day of the season. It's going into the final day of the season, and the team that are second in the league need a 15-goal swing. It's not over, but everyone knows who's won the league. It's not over, but everyone knows who Alexander Isak is going to be playing for next year, because he will do everything within his power to make this move happen. He wants it. And let's face it, he would be stupid if he didn't. He's an ambitious, elite-level player who wants to test himself against the very best, who wants to be part of something that will live for eternity. And that's the power that Liverpool have. Like, I don't know if you've seen these comments, but I thought that they were huge comments from Anthony Gordon. Now, Anthony Gordon nearly moved to Liverpool last year. He stayed at Newcastle United. He won silverware with Newcastle United, beating Liverpool in a final. He's going to be playing in the Champions League with Newcastle United next year. He has actually come out and said that he understands what Alexander Isak is going through. He hopes, I think you can suggest this, if you read between the lines, it's almost as if Anthony Gordon is saying that he hopes Alexander Isak gets the move because he regrets not getting the move. Can you see the power and the sway that Liverpool Football Club hold within the game? Like, Anthony Gordon is effectively saying his friend Alexander Isak, he wants what's best for him, even if it's what's not best for his club or for him personally. That is the power of Liverpool, and that is why I believe it's going to happen. You know, he is still clearly upset that he didn't get the move last year. And now, from Isak's perspective, one of the reasons why I said this move potentially wouldn't happen would be that Isak wouldn't agitate for it enough. He wouldn't do enough to get out of the contract. Sometimes players don't do it. You know, we've seen examples. We've seen examples where players don't get out. Harry Kane is the obvious one. But I believe he is going to do everything that he can to make it happen. He obviously wants to play for Liverpool. He obviously wants to be coached by Arne Slot. He obviously wants to play alongside icons like Van Dijk and Salah. He obviously wants to hear the cop sing his name. And when you think about what he could potentially win there, I mean, what will they win next year? The league almost feels like a guarantee. And then beyond that, you start looking at Europe. You start thinking of who's going to lift the European Cup in Budapest. Is it going to be Kirkes and Szoboszlai, in two Hungarians lifting it together in the capital of Hungary? I mean, it does feel like that's what this sort of signing is all about. And the fact that Newcastle United are currently exploring a deal to sign Benjamin Sesko, I mean, it tells you something, doesn't it? And anybody that is trying to convince themselves, or even me, that... I find it funny, I'm sorry. But people are suggesting that Benjamin Sesko is being signed by Newcastle United to play with Isak. That's obviously not what's happening here. Obviously, Benjamin Sesko will be being coveted by Newcastle United to be the Isak replacement, not to play alongside Alexander Isak. Isak will not play for the club again. He is in Spain on his own. He is not even being treated for his thigh injury by the Newcastle United rehab department. He is no longer a Newcastle player for all intents and purposes. He's contracted to Newcastle, but by his own definition, he is not a Newcastle player. If he was, he would currently be in Newcastle, in the rehab department of Newcastle, or he would be with his teammates. He wouldn't be training with the team that he played for in 2020, using their training facilities, using his own fitness team. That's just not what he would be doing. So it now comes down to this. Isak will agitate. We know that he is desperate to go. And then it becomes a question of, do Newcastle do everything within their power to keep him? Do they want to stop Liverpool in their pursuit? And again, I need to reiterate that Liverpool's pursuit has been conducted with decorum. They have done nothing wrong. So Newcastle can't be angry with Liverpool. The question is, do they want to keep an angry Isak? I think you could argue yes. I think there is certainly a powerful argument from a Newcastle perspective to why you should keep Alexander Isak. Firstly, because he's a wonderful player. Secondly, I believe him to be a professional. So if he ended up wearing the black and white next year, I think he would score goals. I think he would lead the line well. I think he would lead the line professionally. But he would be unhappy. Does his happiness matter? Daniel Levy would certainly say no. Daniel Levy didn't care that Luka Modric was upset that he didn't get the move to Chelsea. Daniel Levy didn't care that Harry Kane was upset that he didn't get the move to Man City. Both players played brilliantly for their clubs. Could Newcastle force Isak to play and play well? Maybe. Equally, should Newcastle keep hold of the player even if he doesn't want to play? Is the statement of Newcastle being a selling club damaging? Do serious clubs sell their best players? I think you could argue no. But I also think that there is an inevitability about this signing. There is an inevitability about how this will play out. And in these situations, history tells us that player power, as I believe it's often referred, will usually reign supreme. And look, Newcastle can make it as uncomfortable. They can make it as tricky. They can make it as profitable. But ultimately, I believe that they will lose their player. And what is the point, really, in having an unhappy, sulking, a player who's down tools, the best player in the league up front, who is simply refusing to train or play properly? What is the point in keeping him? Maybe there is a theory, and it's not one that I agree with, but maybe there's a theory that this could be the Coutinho moment. I mean, it won't be. It doesn't ring true. But they have to try now and see this from a glass half full perspective, because the fuse is lit. Liverpool are going to sign Alexander Isak. And the fact that they have put this bid in the way that they have, and it's gone exactly as they wanted it to go. They put the bid in, knowing it was a bit low, knowing that Newcastle would reject it, knowing that Alexander Isak would be furious with the rejection. They just let the music play now. Liverpool having a cigar and maybe a cup of Rosie Lee or maybe a Glenmorangie. But it's going to happen. Do me a favour, let me know your thoughts on this. Do you think this is going to happen? Do you believe that Newcastle United will allow him to leave? And what do you think this tells us about Liverpool Football Club and their ambitions for the new season? If you're new around here, please do me a favour. Please click subscribe. And I look forward to seeing what you have to say in the comments section below. I will see you in a bit. Ta-da.